Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, your Lord and Master. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Rechnaya Pereprava. In the north, it's insane Spanky fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 7th Panzer Division inside this Whorunbartertown here with Armoured Assault Tactics. Fighting for the Soviet Union and the 1st Guards Tank Corps. Whorunbartertown by is a rank 16 Soviet player, so hardly a novice here. We got double punish 74 to Spanky with elite troops, lightning war and mobile defense with Ostwind, specifically for suppression, Panzer Grenadier and Stormtrooper bulletins. Doubling these here with Special Command for Whorunbartertown with the country, by the way, the interesting choice of as the Wehrmacht. We'll have to see how that pans out. Also found out here about the Ostwind bulletins, actually the only bulletins sort of really add something. I think one of the few bulletins, well, I think it's the only one, might be more, that really sort of adds something new in terms of like suppression to a unit. It's always stood out like that, and sort of in that regard, sort of, you know, might be something that appears more now that, you know, Ostwind's kind of, well, are kind of good. Anyways, got Donald Pioneer, 4 tier Spanky's going to clear, then go for a tier 2 rush here. So, and again, gain some popularity, though it's not all players go for, and also still see some players who just stick to the Grenadiers. No Panzer Grenadiers for them, no sir. But there's definitely also more players who are willing to just delve into MG42s and Panzer Grenadiers and fast tier 2s there. We've got a scout car on the way there for Whorunbartertown, the M3A1, possibly anticipating such a move. In fact, it's going to leave Spanky there quite exposed, and of course he's probably also sussed this out due to having gone for armoured assault and had no infantry company, meaning he knows most likely that Spanky has absolutely no Grenadiers. So he's very exposed here to the M3A1 there, so already we can maybe see some sort of meta games happenings there where again just people just go like, boom, can I hear my opponent go for an infantry company and a Grenadiers? If not, I'm going to hit him with a really big scout car and I'm going to make him hurt. So we'll have to see how Spanky reacts to that. I mean, even with a fast tech and some Pantagons, there's going to take some time before they can sort of be there to react to the M3A1 scout car here that Whorunbartertown is running out on the field here against Spanky. Quickly pointing to the M3A1 there with the conscripts, the Frontovics. MG42 they're marching through in the south here, looking to establish your front line, I think around the river line here. Scout car swooping in aggressively against Spanky, looking for some weak targets, and he's probably going to hit the MG42s. Now he goes for the calf one, they could also, you know, just hit straight from machine guns, then likely he will hit against them once you see what's going on then. Once he's cut off the calf one there, denying Spanky fuel for the fatherland. Take up almost done machines, they're routing back, though we can only find safety for one of them. Let's see what he does next. The flamethrower in the scout car, of course, would be the great move, and he might in fact be pulling back the scout car to do exactly that, maybe? No. So far, there seems to be no sign of that actually going on here. Interesting. It's actually what I would have figured. Yep, there we go, there we go. Thing like we're seeing there you go, flamethrower's being upgraded there, conscript's popping out, so he's going to switch over here to a machine gun hunt there, essentially. Spanky's take up his stunning and go for the Panzer Grenadiers, so of course he might consider other stuff. Telemount in the car fort, having already sussed out Whorunbartertown's tactics a bit potentially. Nice work there, though in this case gets spotted laying them down. We'll have to see if this actually sort of then factors into Whorunbartertown. Maybe sometimes, you know, players see something, but it doesn't necessarily register into the brains like, you know, that's what happened, or he just forgets about it down the road. And there's a few potentials here where the scout car or some other light vehicle, even a tank, sets off that telemine. It might be exactly that which Spanky is sort of betting on. In that regard, there's always, you know, human psychology to keep in mind when playing campaigners too. Like, you know, the sort of blind spots the human mind possesses. Punch was out there for Spanky and the German army. First squad out here for the 7th Panzer Division, also known as the Ghost Division. Due to the speed with which, you know, Rommel led it during the invasion of France in 1940. Which wasn't actually too uncommon in some cases, in particular during the early stage of the war. Some commanders were rather known as being impetuous and not necessarily quite following high command's order as sharply. For example, also was a bit of a problem doing Operation Barbarossa. Guderian, I believe, had a bit of a knack for that one. All by 2nd Panzer Squad on the way there for Spanky and the German army. More people from the way there for Whorunbartertown. Seizing the southern victory point here. So far, Whorunbartertown control most of the map. Though, of course, Spanky, of course, is planning to regain control here for the fatherland with lots of Panzer Grenadiers, or at least a, you know, adequate amount of Panzer Grenadiers. We'll, of course, see what it ends up with. Whorunbartertown probably wants more some infantry out for starters, and some mines to sort of that way slow down any of Spanky's counterattacks. Some particular catch-up Panzer Grenadiers got on a mine that's going to be pretty big for Whorunbartertown, so a few mines in there should be very, very good value. He should also, of course, consider minesweepers, since, again, he hopefully has seen Spanky laying down the telemines, hasn't forgotten about it already, so I mean, one telemine likely means more mines and general telemines. And there we go, another telemine there being attempted here by Spanky. Good work there. Also note in this case, the particular positioning rather means it's also more likely to be looked in with a minesweeper about, because due to the way the shadows and sort of the terrain interacts, even if it was like spotted by the engineers, if he doesn't then just aim to send around it, he might just overlook it. So that's an extra sneaky move there by Spanky there in terms of mining, and those are, for example, small tricks you can usually try and apply there with your mines at times, you know. Try and use the terrain to sort of slightly obscure them so it becomes harder for opponents to perceive them. Similarly applies to demo charges. Big push here by Whorunbartertown for the cutoff point though he's neglecting their Spanky's west force there. But so far Whorunbartertown is striking hard here for the Soviet Union there. Panzergrenadier routed. We got a bankrupt there for Spanky. Well, obviously he's going to go for a fast tech here to sort of tier 3 in the Support Corps. So he's going to be a struggle here considering the way that Whorunbartertown is just aggressively pummeling away there. Though, of course, with the northern path sort of open up, without any real interruption there for Whorunbartertown, it's probably not going to be as bad there as Whorunbartertown might hope it for. Yes, taking up though, which is very good. Seizing the fuel point here, grabbing points there as well. Also got a minesweepers up for the years. Not 2 thumbs up, yeah, 1 thumb up there, very good. At least that's starting to factor in. Are they cutting off fuel, denying fuel? Of course, he's being denied fuel as well. More punies being caught there laying down telemines. You can see the Spanky's very much, you know, really sort of putting in a lot of effort trying to lay down as many telemines as he can here and there to catch up light vehicles, of course, of the tanks. Very good there. Mines win wars, as they say, and company here is not, I think, actual warfaring. Well, they might think mines are pretty great. But there you go, we got elite troops here versus armoured assault. Stormtroopers, of course, now also available to Spanky with a few MP40s or D43s, if that is so what Spanky desires. Certainly gives them a few more options, then of course opens up for the Tiger Ace as a late game. Medic bunker there, take up for Spanky. Obviously though, it is going to take him time to get the Support Corps and then get out some armor, but again he can sort of skip a few buildings here thanks to the Panthers. Though of course it doesn't come without risk, as we can see here with the M3A1. Which is certainly turning out to be a nice investment here for Whorunbartertown until he runs into some Panther Shreks and things. But there you go. MG42 then in of course also proves to be a rather finite end there for the M3A1 as it gets shredded in a matter of moments. Back here in base, nothing further happening. He might be planning to himself just try and take ahead fast for the Mechanized Armor Company, which would not, I think, to be a necessarily bad read at all. In fact, it might be a pretty good read against Spanky here. Though, of course, Spanky's fuel harassment certainly ensures that he's not gaining that much farther ahead of Spanky, really. Or he's using fuel point. Now, he does go for the T-70. He does go for the T-70. I think Spanky here may try for another telemite. No, not this time around. At least not for now. Panzer's there going for the penal troopers, another squad moving in. Penal troopers are being routed by the Panzergrenadier. And we almost got a wipe there, but not quite. Not quite. T-70 almost down there for Whorunbartertown. Spanky there. Ooh, almost got the telemine there, but he was routed here by the MD-42 on the carve point there. Spanky's taking no chances. In these, though, he's going to, I think, have to fall back here. Unless he gets really lucky. Which seems to be partly happening here, so that's pretty lucky there for Spanky. All the way got the T-70 light tank out. Both fuel points under control there for Whorunbartertown. Oh, he even got a wire. That's really bad luck there for Whorunbartertown. I should probably look into replacing some of those losses with either conscripts or penal troops. Either way, they should happen relatively fast. Pushing the north here, Punch goes back up with the MD-42. We got Whorunbartertown T-70 charging in there. And he's got a lot of munitions floating. I mean, Whorunbartertown definitely should be laying down mines now. I mean, particularly he's got so much of the map, they're just not laying down mines. I feel like it's a bit of an oversight there, if anything, by Whorunbartertown. We got Stormtroopers out there, Support Corps going further for Spanky. That's still going to take some time to get anything out. MP40s, G43s, yeah. Still. Whorunbartertown should A, get some more troops out, and B, get some mines down. That, I think, again, is a very big oversight. It certainly stands out a bit, considering, again, he's a rank 16 player, and there's just not a single mine when he has so much map control, and Postponian is the one who has to get back there with, 2-man squads. Mines would be absolutely gorgeous. Alright, he's going for Panzer 6 on the Stormtroopers, also MP40s, but usually you see that on the Panzer Grenadiers, but I guess he just didn't felt comfortable with that, maybe? Interesting choice there by Spanky. Not the one I sort of usually see nowadays. I mean, basically it's sort of, it's not munitions efficient, since, you know, you're getting one Panzer for 75, but technically, you know, with double upgrades, one Panzer technically costs 50. Of course, on the other hand, you sort of got a unit that can sort of fight better back at infantry, and that, of course, might be what Spanky sort of wants. Tell him I'm dealt with, giving his T-Sen more freedom of movement, more people on the way there for Whorunbartertown, very good, but he's flooding a lot of munitions. Like, even he wants to stay up here for the R2's doing attacks. I mean, neglecting mines for this long, and when he's got that many munitions, definitely seems like a grave oversight. Need to retreat the engineers, though. Get them out of there fast. Stormtroopers with MP40s and Panzer 6 advancing. T-7 quickly skedaddling out of there. Still no mines for Whorunbartertown up north there. I mean, he's still maintaining good map control, but he can make things a lot easier for himself with mines. I mean, that's why it sort of stands out there. I mean, Spanky's still struggling, though, of course, once he gets out of fast Oswin there. I mean, at the moment, he's going to, I think, have a really good sort of chance at getting back onto the field, but even then, mines, you know, help slow that down. Flanking the machine gun there. Spanky's getting close to the Ostwind. Stormtroopers moving ahead. T-7 there, sort of swinging about on the west. That machine is being routed. Big people to push into the right flank here. What little territory remains for Spanky and the German army. Whorunbartertown definitely should get a mechanized armor company. I mean, that on SN6, because right now, I mean, otherwise, I think if he thinks he can get away with an IS-2 right now, he's definitely being a bit awfully silly. Still, he is effective in denying Spanky a lot of fuels. I mean, Spanky's not going to be pushing out that Ostwind anytime soon. Panzer's then gaining the penalty, we could get another wipe here, which is going to be helpful here for Spanky. And of course, Whorunbartertown is paying a rather high price for maintaining so much map, but you know, also just not using his resources that efficient. Now we've got a support company, so I'm getting the feeling he is going to try and stall for the IS-2 now, when he's got so much map control. Next, I can see it, but the problem is, it's 7 command points away. Like, that's a lot of time where his opponent can actually sort of catch back. Whereas, you know, just were to go for the mechanized armor company and being pushing out T-3045s and T-3476s, yeah, no, he can always just follow up when the IS-2 becomes necessary. We just apply more pressure to his opponent now when he's weak with tanks. That's going to be much harder to deal with when you don't have a strong economy. So, I'm not a huge fan here of what Whorunbartertown is planning at, if that is in fact what he's planning at. And there you go, we got field guns. So, this is really starting to reek of a IS-2 assault here from Whorunbartertown. I mean, it could work out. I mean, again, he's not ranked 16 for nothing. Unless you subscribe to certain ideas of the ally. Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, okay, he's... Phew! Alright, I was just, you know, I had to question there. But he's actually going for mechanized armor company. He's not that utterly daft as to try and stall for an IS-2. Thank the heavens. Thank the heavens. Again, would have been a very, very silly and very daft move. Full stop. T-10 engaging pioneers up north. Spanky, there's going to be able to push out for that piece of armor soon. And again, it's likely going to be a flak Panzer. They could go for the Stuka, the Panther 4. Stormtroopers routed. He's using them at this point, I think, just to harass and part. They slow down Whorunbartertown's economy. So again, he doesn't gain too far ahead and can begin hammering them too much with tanks. And I imagine, though, with the Ostwind soon out, that Whorunbartertown's initial response with the T-34s from 6, and you know, in most situations the T-34 will beat the Ostwind unless you play the T-34 pretty poorly. Flak Panther halfway done, pushing the these being halted here by the MP42. Note, by the way, he's actually using conscript to merge with the penal troopers to keep manpower costs down. So thumbs up there to Whorunbartertown. And there you go, T-3476. Ostwind Flak Panther almost down there for Spanky. It's a true renaissance for Flak Panther enthusiasts in the Wehrmacht. So there you go, Flak Panther out. The Ostwind. Only about 41, I think, were made. Of course, they're part of the larger Flak Panther 4 series, which included the Wirbelwind and the Möbelwagen. The Wirbelwind equipped, of course, with the flak feeling, and the Möbelwagen being equipped either with a thermal flak like the Ostwind or a flak feeling like the Wirbelwind. But the key to that one was, on the hand, the turret. On the other hand, you had to sort of lay down the sides of the turret to activate ground targets, which of course exposed the crew and the gun much more. So that's a little fun note there. Great hitting the flak panzer moves in there, using the T-7 to spot foot, very good. Also flanking in the Ostwind, T-34 is around here for Whorunbartertown. Panzer strikes in the Storms as well, so this is, again, rather unusual. I mean, most players would equip the Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer strikes, but Spanky so far is adamantly sticking to the Stormtroopers. Smoke screen down there, interesting choice then from the T-70, T-34 moving ahead there. Oh, that Ostwind's in trouble. Misses though, that's pretty lucky there for Spanky. He's not pursuing here, possibly worried about more telemines, but I imagine also just a lot of Panzer Shreks maybe, you know, suddenly appearing out of nowhere and taking out his T-34 from 6. It's a worry I can understand. It would be silly here for, you know, Whorunbartertown just charging his factory fresh T-34 only to be filled with large German rockets, and then have to explain that afterwards. Still, he's got the first medium tank out. Spanky's got the first flak pants out. And now we got Backtech here for the Like to Make a Nice Company. I'm guessing Pec 40's here for Spanky to help deal with the armor. So again, the Panzers just seem to be there to assist more than anything, and just sort of slightly stall vehicles, rather than his main means of, so to say, destroying armor. Interesting enough, he's not upgraded the second Stormtrooper squad though with the MP40s. Maybe the first one was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't. We will probably never know, but I don't know. More people from the Whorunbartertown, so he's adding more infantry now. Not a bad choice. I think Maximus and Mortars right now would be a really good choice. I think a lot of players, in particular Allied players, I think tend to ignore the benefits of just a lot of combined arms. Oh, there you go. Second squad equipped with MP40s as well there. Following up, 2 flexible assault teams can deal with both infantry and armour, though not if they're negative cover. Obviously, at that point it's just suicidal. T-4 going to the basic, going here for the Ostwind Flak Panzer. They'll go down to half health. Of course, the Stormtroopers rushing back in there. He's going to have to not push his luck anymore. Still, it is threatening Spanky within his base, so that's nice work there. And there you go, Panzer's moving in. Engineers still being shredded. He's losing his minesweeper unit. That's pretty big there. Engineers for flamethrowers could also end up going down to the eventually 2 Panzers. They're going annihilated. That was definitely a flank that did not work out there for Whorunbartertown. I mean, losing both of his engineer squads is actually pretty big. Panzer, they're trying to sprint away. And actually not, they're sprinting. It's because, oh, the telemine! The telemine finally paid off there. He'd actually laid down one again while Whorunbartertown wasn't paying attention, offloading a ton of munitions. And again, has not been mining unlike his opponent, despite again having the map and the missions to do it. Definitely an oversight there, I would say the bigger ones there by Whorunbartertown, and certainly something here that's sort of the room there that Spanky could punish him for, because again, if Whorunbartertown had been mining, I mean, he could have laid down 20 mines by now with all those munitions. 20 mines! That's a lot of kills. That's a lot of vehicles slowed down and destroyed, possibly even. So, I mean, that lack of mines, I definitely describe that as a bit of an oversight of the larger ones there by Whorunbartertown. The Outlawian, almost. Don't worry, it's safe. I've done these 100 times. We don't need those pesky mines. And those aren't body parts over there from our tankers. They're just gnomes. Garden gnomes. Take up there for Spanky. He's seemingly feeling pretty confident, partly due again to an absolute massive lack of mines there from Whorunbartertown. Field gun there being rolled back, engineers moving out. Sneaking up there with a nice flank. That's actually very nice there, I think, here by Whorunbartertown. Some nice tactical approach there. Though it still needs to be executed reasonably, and I still think he, benefit from some mortars and stuff. Stormtrooper push here for the car fight. And again, total lack of mines there by Whorunbartertown. There you go, tank from both sides, he's attempting to. He's probably going to chuck a satchel charge at it. Nice attack there. Spanky, though, of course, smells what's going on there, or sniffs it out, immediately retreats. Or not, retreats, doesn't quite get out of there. Auto sets up, which is unfortunate. Destroy it with a satchel charge. That's a bit of a blow there to Spanky, though he's got one machine gun left. Of course, he still has plenty of infantry. Need to retreat the penal troopers before they get murdered here by the infantry as Spanky counterattacks viciously. Field gun T-7 moving in, the infantry being to back up. We got by way there. The mobilised reserves out there for the conscript. Stormtroopers advancing, taking 5 from the T-70. Field gun nearby. T-70 taking a lot of damage from the 2 Panzer shapes they equipped on the Stormtroopers. Grenades going off from the field gun, or at least attempt it going off. Now, the question is, what is Whorunbartertown planning at next? T-3045 is going to stall for the IS-2. As for Spanky, I mean, he could stall for the Tiger Race now, though, of course, again, that would give his opponent also a chance to bounce back. And, of course, if both are now trying to play for the heavy tank, who knows where this is going to go, because, I mean, it's going to be a bit, well, wonky. There we go, air support available, though, of course. We got a flak panzer, which also now is actually good versus aircraft. Meaning if Whorunbartertown has been saying all the mission for the R2 Sturmwing attacks, he may get sorely disappointed. But I'm sure Spanky will be pleased by that. Pack 40 following up there. Bit late, but better late than never. That Telemann there really proved big there for Spanky, taking out that T-34. Makes things, I would say, a lot easier for him. And again, it seems like Whorunbartertown is not trying to stall for the IS-2. Meanwhile, Spanky there. I don't know if he's stalling for it. I mean, he's yet to build the heavy panzer core, which he can't need to get for the Tiger Race anyways. Panzer is moving up. They're very close to Veteran 3. Very good there. Panzer going to be forced away. They're Stormtroopers doing what they can here by an old tilted over tree. There you go. Flak Panzer with 3 kills, pushing back the pin troopers there. Got the field gun moving in there. Veteran 1 pushing back the Flak Panzer very nicely. Overall, though, Spanky's presenting, I think, good map control. He's always looking to find a weak spot there to outmaneuver his opponent in, whereas Whorunbartertown seems a bit more stiff, a bit more inflexible in his tactics. But there you go, whilst Stormtrooper squad there, Spanky pushed too far and got punished. Bit of a blow there to the German army and the 7th Panzer to be short. HT-70 by is also really bad news for the Spanky since it's now fast and it's also very accurate, which of course is really bad news for infantry and support weapons. Caught in a bad spot. But yeah, he's definitely playing for it. At least you should go for a fuel cache, I think. That'll at least sort of assist in getting out the IS-2 a bit faster, and of course then support the IS-2 with more armor, which is going to be crucial here. Spanky, meanwhile, though, is seemingly sort of taking a nice leisurely walk towards the Tiger Race. And the question, of course, is Whorunbartertown, is he aware of this possibility? Because at that point, he should really then be hitting the fuel points a lot harder to ensure that Spanky cannot leisurely walk towards the Tiger Race. And he should be doing as much as he possibly can to disrupt it, while again, of course, ensuring yes, enough big tanks and just tanks in general to ensure that just going for the Tiger Race is going to be kind of suicidal for Spanky. But again, Whorunbartertown does seem to be struggling a bit there. Flak Panzer's sending out. He's got plenty of manpower. I mean, at this point, he could easily afford a fuel cache if he wanted to. And he's also got almost 700 munitions. He definitely needs to start spending those. I can't really imagine why he's not doing that. That definitely feels like a big oversight. There's a massive one. Fuel there cut off by a nice little pinpoint strike there for Spanky. Very good. Field gun constantly moving about, and you need to manage to fix up the T-70. Very close to the IS-2, and Spanky is still some time away from the Tiger Race. I mean, whatever happens, I mean, in terms of again who's both stalling in there, I mean, Whorunbartertown thinks they have a good chance of getting back into the game with the IS-2. Obviously, though, of course, mines could also made it much harder for Spanky to push him out in the first place. And of course, you're spending some of that manpower a bit more efficiently. Black Man's moving up, they're 5 kills. Moments away from the IS-2. Spanky's finally building a heavy panzer core, but even then he is still some time away from the mighty Tiger Race. And we got Telemines down here, very good. Again, Spanky just keeps mining whereas Whorunbartertown, again, who's easily got the resources, seems very hesitant towards mining. There you go, heavy panzer co-op. On this point, it should be pretty obvious to Whorunbartertown what Spanky's end game's going to be. Again, it's going to be the Tiger Race. And mines to slow that one down, of course, we need to be pretty great. But again, it's just this no mining going on here for Whorunbartertown. And again, there's so many things you just couldn't mine easily. So it does stand out. But yeah. IS-2 finally called in here for Whorunbartertown. He can be called in. Spanky's not far off from the ace either. But there you go, Yusuf Stalin 2 tank, adding the Dishka. Very good upgrade there, obviously. Also means he's actually spending some munitions, so that's a plus. Sees another one point. You could also lay down flare mines with the conscripts easily. I mean, that would also take out a few models here and there, and of course giving more line of sight and reconnaissance on his opponent. Big 2 points wise, the Whorunbartertown's leading with Spanky here, so obviously it's not like he's doing everything wrong, but that's nonetheless stand out quite a bit. It's a bit difficult to ignore. As 2 moving in, the Yusuf Stalin 2 tank shoots and obliterates Helmut in a shower of shrapnel and gore. Interesting enough, he's not focusing on the stormtroopers. We have the Patriot, got a smoke grenade off there. Very nice work there by Spanky. He's going to require a bit more gas there from the IS-2 to hit it. Or he shoots there. IS-2 shoots, misses. Bit harder there to shoot through smoke. Less accurate. IS-2 falling back there, very good. Still, he's floating a lot of manpower, and again, he could easily afford fuel caches or more infantry or support weapons. Another field gun would be good. At this point, mortars would be good. Maxims would be good. I mean, there's really a lot of things to go for. There you go. Unit wiped out here by a nice bomb grenade there from Spanky. Apparently through them out, so they actually caught them on retreat as they popped out of the house. Oh, that's a conscript gone there for Whorunbartertown. Flak Panzer Veteran 2. Engineer suppressed there by the Flak Panzer. T7 moving in, 23 kills. Party's been right up north here, but let's go there. We finally got some air support. We finally spending munitions any sort of bigger numbers. I think using these T7 in this case is sort of bait. IS-2 moving in there, 2's being murdered. Got the Pack 40. Directed on the Flak Panzer by the IS-2, but now we got the Tiger Race out here for Spanky, and the question is, did Whorunbartertown here and all of the chaos and the confusion? Machine gun right as well. I mean, he could try and steal the Pack 40 now, that'd be huge, but again, mines would also be pretty big here for Whorunbartertown. There you go, aircraft shut down by the Flak Panzer, second go down as well there. And of course, the Veteran 2 is much better now at dealing by the way at it. Tiger Race going for the IS-2, Pack 40 under fire though from infantry and whatnot, lost moving in to back up. Field gun nearby, directed on the IS-2, oh, the Tiger Race from the IS-2, field gun sending up there, T-7 applying spotting fire there. Punch moving in, people need to deal with that. Another hit on the IS-2. Oh, Tiger Race down to half health, but so is the IS-2. Storms from the flank of the Panzer Shakers, turning into a bit of a rout here for Whorunbartertown. Again, marching helpful, and there you go. IS-2's main gun out. This is pretty horrific here for Whorunbartertown, and it. Oh, bounces a shot there, but it gets stuck there. He forgets to move further, and the IS-2 is down. Oh, it's abandoned even. Pupils are there thinking about there. Almost got the Osprey there, I think, with the satchel charge, but that didn't quite pan out there. And the IS-2 is cooked off. Pupils will know start on the retreat. That was definitely not a good engagement there for Whorunbartertown. And now he's in a pretty bad spot. He's just suffered a lot of losses. He's lost his IS-2, he's lost his T-70, he's lost, you know, a bunch of support weapons. He's lost one support weapon. Field gun sending up here. Directed here on the Tiger Race's side. Very nice work. Quick blitz there. People are dealing with the stormtroopers. But Whorunbartertown needs to do some heavy work here to, I think, turn this situation around now. And again, the lack of mines really made it much easier for Spanky just to push through. And again, had he, you know, the Tiger Race, for example, encountered any number of mines, that would have been a much different story. I think, again, it could even have been a GG moment right then and there for Spanky. So, I mean, really, remember to mine if you can. Because we saw that the Spanky and the mines have proven to be, you know, even if some of them got a bunch of them got disrupted, dealt with easily, that one Telemann that took out the T-3476 still managed to, like, just do huge work. I think that's really sort of one of the key elements to keep in my mind. It doesn't matter if, like, most of them, like, you know, never go off or get disarmed. Like, the critical element there is actually, if just one goes off, it can still end up having huge effects on the opponent, particularly if it's a Telemann. But even S-mines, you know, in the right number, just, again, lay down a ton. Again, most of them get spotted, most will be ignored, but even just, like, few of them go off, it can still end up having quite an effect on the opponent. So, I mean, my advice is just mine the crap out of the map. There you go, recruit both field guns, very good there. Big 2 points wise, he still has a lead over Spanky, and the armor's going to be out there for a while. We got the Flak Panzer by the ace level. That's really bad news for Whorunbartertown. Also, Spanky's got control of both field points. That's also not exactly good news here for Whorunbartertown. And we're still not seeing any mines, are we? That's great news for Spanky, though. Storms coming in, they got the Flak Panzer sending out. Telemann there spotted. He's a spot of the flak punch taking here, finding again. Just eventually, Fleet has a very high rate of fire now. And can definitely just tear through infantry if you're not careful. He is routed. Center victory point being seized there by Spanky's Panzer Grenadier. Troops heading northwards, backed up by Filgan here against Spanky's forces. His Panzer Grenadier. Troops healing reinforcing, seizing the southern victory point here. Flak Panzer hanging back. Panzers there being routed, seizing the center victory point with the MD-42. We could try and blast the MD-42 with the field guns. That could just work out. Potato due to the terrain. There we go. 1 kill already. Almost got it, but not quite. Still, he also needs to hit the northern field. And that seems to be something I keep noticing Whorunbartertown. He's not very good at just, quickly grabbing some territory when it's easily free open. He just tends to sort of focus on just one big spot at a time. And tends to have, shall I say, a less larger view picture of the battlefield. But there you go. Field gun opening up there on the Oswin there. Oh, Storms was wiped. They tried to pass through the river there, or lake, or whatever, ditch, or whatever, massive ditch. All the way though, easy kill there for Whorunbartertown. Bit of a loss there and waste there, honestly, by Spanky. He's down to just his ace Panzer Grenadiers. He's actually a bit short in infantry now again. More Panzer Grenadiers or Stormtroopers could be, I think, a good investment here for Spanky, obviously. Tiger Race with 11 kills, right on the field guns. Stormtroopers flanking up there. Shots firing, bouncing off the Tiger Racer's armor. There you go, one penetrating. Got better 2 there. We got the flak guns there flanking up the field guns. Very good work there by Spanky. I think Whorunbartertown is actually trying to go for another IS-2 now. That's pretty bold in some ways. I mean, he's trying to go for another heavy tank while he's under a lot of pressure. And theoretically, Spanky just pull more medium armor at him. I think he'd better off for like tank destroyers, even just tanks. A, to help deal with infantry, but also just deal with some of the armor faster, just to bring down numbers fast rather than just lying on the field guns, because right now one of his biggest issues is just the field guns are just big priority targets for Spanky, and he's going to have a harder time protecting them from both the Ace Osprey, the Tiger Race, and of course the Panzer Grenadiers. So I feel like something armored at least give us something a bit more that could sort of help back up their flak panzers or the field guns better, at least some Maxims maybe. Got to kill in the Panzer Grenadier. Panzerwerfer on the way for Spanky. I would have figured maybe a Sturmpanzer or a Panther, or maybe even just another Oswin, but Panzerwerfer can certainly also work out here versus the field guns. Tiger Race moving up, they're shooting with its 88mm gun. Double field gun shooting. One misses right in front of it, and the other shot penetrates, pierces the armor. Second one misses again. Third one misses as well. Fourth shot there misses. Flak Panther moving to the north, 27 kills. Panzerwerfer almost done. Whorunbartertown himself some time off from the second IS-2. He's also not trying to call in the more IL-2 to make attacks. But still, honestly, I think, if he's going to use it, just use it. Again, except he's going to lose some aircraft because he doesn't have to pay for the aircraft anyway. So, if he can do just a bit of damage with it, it might still pay off, I suppose. But, spend some of that ammunition to Whorunbartertown. Telemann's being laid down the most Spanky again. He's being very diligent with this stuff. Again, Whorunbartertown, they just keeps never minding. It's worth noting again, he's a rank 16, so player in 1 versus 1. He shouldn't, be this sort of slouch. Yet here we are. He's loading a ton of munitions. Almost got the ace flak panzer. That's pretty good here, though. 29 kills is less good, though, for Whorunbartertown. He's using the southern field point there. He's getting steadily close again to the IS-2, though. He is getting there, but it's happening at a glacial pace. Now we got the Panzer out here for Spanky, which, as a fun note, the Waffen-SS had a version of it. They actually used Katyusha rockets. And they actually manufacture copies of the Katyusha rockets themselves. Panzer versus the Penal was routed there. Panzer fire down here, and again, because all bunched up in a bad spot, they're taking some damage from the rockets. 51 kills. Good God. Those Panzers are really just taking Whorunbartertown to task. Quick bomb grenade off the 28, so not bad either, either. 188 versus 199. Tiger Race, they're good to go again, 16 kills. Seizing the Sun fuel point again. He's never really put much effort in. Particularly, this seems to be a bit of a blind spot there for Whorunbartertown. He never seems to sort of really care much about this spot until like it's several minutes after Spanky's done anything there. Compared to seems to put a lot more effort into this part of the map. Even when it just ends up being much harder for him to do anything about it, which is interesting there to know. There's some again. I feel like at times sort of like how the maps are designed seem to occasionally just result in certain places just being gravitated to certain points like moths to a flame. There you go, Ace Flak Panzer yes into those penal troopers, shredding them with its 30mm flak. Tiger Race sitting out there, Field bombarding here on the MG42 up north. More Termite and S-Mines down as well. You can see really that S-Spanky is just trying to build up any advantage, just trying to make it harder for his opponent to counter-attack him. And again, that's also one way to use mines. It's not just deny territory, it's just to make it harder when your opponent sort of makes that push when you overextend it. The mines can help make it easier to just, buy time to get back into things and just slow down an opponent's attack. And that's clearly what he's doing. I mean, this is going to be difficult, for example, for Whorunbartertown to just charge through. There's S-Mines and Telemines. Like, you can't just blitz through there. But you got machine gun banks up north as well. I mean, he's just digging in there. I mean, again, Whorunbartertown has had plenty of time to dig in, but never did. Second nice two out for Whorunbartertown, and there'll be another disco machine gun. Tiger Race on the move again, Field guns moving up, Penal back in the map. Panzer shooting here. Special Rifle Command there takes some damage, filling something up there. Ooh. That Tiger Ace man do nothing to that Penal squad this time around. There you go, direct hits it on the Tiger Ace. Double penetrating hits, IS-2 setting up, Penal machine being added. Another hit, then the Tiger Ace down to almost half health. And there you go, Flak Panzer's going for a rapid flanking on the field guns. Very nice work. The IS-2 is nowhere near to be seen there, so he can't need to move to back up. It's going to take him time to get in. They also finally got some penals equipped with anti-tank rifles. I'm a bit surprised he never considered it as soon as if you could get close with the anti-tank satchel. It probably would also help at certain times if there's a Spanky, particularly get it stuck on the Tiger Race. That could possibly be a game-winning move while you still had the IS-2, for example. The first one that is. And then got right here on the Osprey by the IS-2. Tiger Race hanging back, and you see the Spanky's all just hitting around there. He's now just looking to just make the big push, then destroys opponent one go. He's just looking to sort of slowly bleed him out there. Death by 1,000 cuts, if you will. Or at least until you sort of find the right time to then make the big push and destroy his opponent. But he's always moving about. He's always looking for weak spots to slightly prod his opponent more and more, and he's slightly edging ahead there. More Stormtroopers out here for Spanky. Nice choice there. Going here for the Southern Victory Point. We got 188 to 123. Need to fix up that Tiger Race. Got a Pioneer sitting out here. Osprey good to go as well here for Spanky. 33 kills. So good. Penals on change to the MG42, gaining ace level on that one, very good. Depends they caught in a bad spot with the IS-2 there, and some penal troopers. We got Pack 40 opening out on the turn on the IS-2 here. Penal troopers pinned down to the ground like insects by the ace machine gun crew, mercilessly hammering the cervix there with ruthless machine gun fire. 100 points left here for Whorunbartertown. The Hearst Guards tank corps is finding it very difficult increasingly to advance here. Partly just due to, Spanky actually mining. Even again, he's just only hit one mine. I think it's having a clear effect than Whorunbartertown can't just how he plays. I mean, he's playing, I think, that the eyes to a lot more cautiously again, having lost that teeth of the ball there to Telemann previously. Tiger Race taking a lot of damage from the eye. Field guns, in fact, down to less than half health. Very good. Flak punch moving in. Almost got the Tiger Race there, though. Almost got it. Bunker grenade off, they were still routed. Penals were being pushed back. Almost got the punch grenades there. Flak Pound taking a lot of damage. Field gun cleared out. And pops smoke, then retreats. Sneaky there by Spanky. Very sneaky. Field gun shoots and misses. Pack 40 hanging back here. Got fresh air support finally being called in here by Whorunbartertown. some tight hits in the pack 40. Ooh, S-Man's got it off, actually killing the pack, but there you go, one aircraft shot down, shattering the nearby tree line. Constantly charging the people from the centre here, suppressed. Needs to get some support up there, but instead he's actually retracting his forces here, and it's going to have to retreat. 40 kills versus 5 of them are vehicles. So 4 aircraft and 1 T-70. We got 188 versus 31. At this point I would say it's safely GG here in favour of Spanky and the German army. Panzer fire off. 20 points. Field's going up the Panzer, they're standing away, 62 kills. Direct hit here, they're almost, and there you go, he actually wiped the Panzers there, essentially with a single shot from the R2 and then a few sprays there from the machine guns, and then lost the penalty was scored. Certainly shows how powerful the R2 can be, if he just managed to play it more aggressive. But again, the mines, I think, render him paranoid. And there you go, GG. Game over. And a victory here for Whorunbartertown, a loss. Well, victory for Spanky, not Whorunbartertown. It's a loss for Whorunbartertown. So there you go, GG. Nasty fight here. I mean, Whorunbartertown really easily controlled the map in the early game, certainly showing that those strategies have some weaknesses. The problem was that Whorunbartertown never capitalized on the strength, and they did play on, the fact they had a lot of munitions and a lot of chunk of the map, just a minor large chunk of the map, making it much easier for Spank to push in. The Spank, meanwhile, there tried to pull every edge he could, including mining aggressively against his opponent. That actually paid off there, taking out that first team 54-76, which is really, I think, big win there against Whorunbartertown, and then proceed to play for the IS-2 and then proceed not to support it very well, I think. But again, just I think like the lack of mines was a big mistake here. And again, I'm surprised he as a rank 16 server play just never went for mines. But again, it does seem to be one of the more common, shall we say, allied things. Again, I mean, if they got a big lead and they got a lot of munitions, they tend not to lay down mines. They seem to really be reluctant about it. But again, just a lot of small mines can be really annoying to deal with as a Wehrmacht player. So again, I'm surprised at that. But anyway, it's nice to play there with Spanky. Again, initially nice to play there by Whorunbartertown, but again, kind of managed to toss it all away there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And like what you do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thanks for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode.